What is a missionary? What is a missionary? Jesus said to them again, as the Father has sent me, I also sent to you. In John 20:21. A missionary is someone sent by Jesus Christ, just as he was sent by God. The great controlling factor is not the needs of people, but the command of Jesus. The source of our inspiration is in our service, but God is behind us, not ahead of us. Then tendency today is to put the inspiration out in front, to sweep everything together in front of us and make it conform to our definition of success. But in the New Testament, the inspiration is put ahead of us. It is the Lord Jesus himself. The goal is to be true to him, to carry out his plans, personal attachment to the Lord Jesus, and to his perspective in the one thing that must not be overlooked. In missionary work, the great danger is that God's call will be replaced by the needs of the people, to the point that human sympathy for those needs will be absolutely overwhelmed. The meaning of being sent by Jesus, the needs are so narrow, and the conditions are so difficult that every power of the mind falters and falls. We tend to forget that one great reason underneath all missionary work is not primarily the elevation of the people, is the education of God's words, but first and foremost, the command of Jesus Christ. Go therefore and make disciples of all the nations, in Matthew 28 and 19. When looking back at the lives of men and women of God, a tendency is not to say what wonderfully keen and intelligent wisdom they had, and how perfectly they understood, and that God wanted. But the keen and intelligent mind behind them was the mind of God, not human wisdom at all. We give credit to human wisdom when we should give credit to the divine and guidance of God, who exhibited through childlike people who were foolish enough to trust God's wisdom and his supernatural equipment. One of the great difficulties of the missionary's work is that it's never done. One of the greatest limits of the missionary is the insignificant number of workers in mission fields around the world. More workers are always desired and appreciated. To send out missionaries to those fields presupposed through that we understood what a missionary is. The calling to ministry is unique. It is a calling for God to be specific individuals for an exceptional purpose. To be part of a full-time ministry is a grand privilege because it is from God to join his work in such an extraordinary way. Not every person can do that.
That is true.
And not every person can be called for that. It is such a gift, and not every person is gift for such a calling. Therefore, before we send just any person to the field, there must be a central of missionary. When you think of a missionary, what would your definition be? What would your definition be of a missionary?
You.
My definition of a missionary is to help people, to talk to people about God when they're in distress and just go in the wrong directions, and then talk to them about God. And like when I was a young girl, I used to.
She's asking to say something.
Okay.
And two plus, like you just said, everybody cannot be called to be a missionary.
Right.
It takes a very special person
Yes, it does.
to want to even go out
Mhm.
and preach the good news of
Yeah.
God. Because the world just does not want to hear that.
Amen.
If
Amen.
if you're not talking violence, if you're not talking what you can do for me, if I do this for you,
Right. Right.
then you don't have no use for that person.
That's right.
But you know, if you could go out there and just tell one person about God,
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
and you can draw that person in,
That's right.
then you did the work
Amen.
that God
Amen to that.
called you to do.
Amen.
He's going to say, well done,
Yes.
my faithful, my
My
faithful,
good and faithful.
yeah, my good and faithful servant.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Paused it for a minute. She said, you brought in quite a great introduction. She filled in many of the blanks of what she said. Now, but with all of that, you must have compassion.
Amen.
You
Amen.
must
Amen.
have
That's right.
compassion
That's
in
right.
your heart.
That's
If
right.
you can't stand the person, don't call yourself a missionary.
That's right.
And then,
That's right.
because if you can't, I can't stand this and I can't stand that, and if you can't stand to get your hands dirty, you cannot be a missionary.
That's right.
What, some are called, as God sends some, and I hear Bishop use the term, some went on their own.
Amen.
But if can I just briefly tell just a little short
Yes, you
story?
can. Yes, you can.
My husband and I was missionaries. We got saved. We were missionaries for quite a while before the Lord blessed us to open the church. And we worked as a team. We'd go in homes and we'd hold services. And people would get saved. I mean, we'd have church. His guitar, his voice, he could sing that. I could sing a little bit at that time.
You still got it.
But I was working. I'd come home because we had to change roles after my husband fell on this job that became company for a long time. So he became house husband. I went out and worked. So when I came, many times when I come home, the Lord had put something on my heart or someone on my heart. He'd have the meals cooked. There'll be times that I would get some cooked food and take it to a home. One lady in particular I grew up with her children. She had been in the hospital. I think she had one leg. None of her children would come over there and help her. But she was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I think Brother Lee may know this story. For 3 weeks. And when you're in the hospital or anywhere for 3 weeks, and your gas and electric is cut off,
Yes, yes.
whatever's in your refrigerator
One
turns
day.
to what?
One day.
Right. So I came home and my husband, I got some of the cooked food, I got some ice water, I went visit with her and I took food to her. And then the Lord told me to clean her refrigerator. I didn't even have any gloves on, but he told me to clean her refrigerator. 3 weeks of food is gone bad in the refrigerator. Full of maggots.
Wow.
Are you willing? I mean, you ain't got to show no hand because I want you to think about it.
Yeah.
Because if God sent you to be a missionary, you can't go in there like you live on Snow Hill.
That's right. That's
And
right.
you're not going to do this and you're not going to do
That's
that.
right.
I mean, just say, now, Lord, you know I don't have it, so give me something else to do.
Yeah.
But I think I had about 3 bags of garbage. How about that woman refrigerator? and my husband can vouch, this is the
Amen.
truth. This is not no favor. One of her sons came in, he was a teenage boy, and he stood over me and looked at me, he said, I've never seen a one. So now that's preaching
Yes, it
the
is.
gospel.
Yes, it is.
You don't have to say you're gonna die and go to hell if you don't accept Jesus Christ. But that's showing the love of God.
Yeah.
Clean that woman's refrigerator.
That's right.
Gave her
That's
food
right.
and all of that. And the Lord also told me, because at that time I was kind of young and dressed real nice. I don't do that. But when you're going around those that's less fortunate, and you're going in their homes, and you're going to help, don't go like you just come from some fashion show.
That's right.
You don't go
No,
there like that.
no, you don't. No, you don't.
You know, because the eyes is going to be on you.
That's right.
And not on what you're supposed to.
That's right. That's right.
But if you don't have compassion,
That's right.
and my late bishop taught us as missionaries, you charity begins at home, and it's wins work.
That's right.
Now I know y'all heard my husband say there'd be times that I would say to him that look, this food, this water, whatever, it'll hold you until you get back, but I'm going to church.
Right.
I made sure he had something to eat.
Amen.
I made sure he had his water and all that. That really, some people might say, well, my missionary job, that is my
Yeah,
missionary.
that is. That's right.
That's my
right.
missionary.
That's right.
If you got someone,
That's right.
a mate or whatever, the children, whatever, or little children, see to it that those children are in a position so that if you're going out to help somebody, your children is not up at their crying, I don't know what time mama gonna get back.
That's
because I'm
right.
hungry."
Yeah.
The Bible says the Lord does things in
Decency and in order.
and in order.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to treat the ones that's living in the house with you,
Come on now.
you need to examine
That's right.
yourself.
That's right.
Because something's wrong there.
Something is
Yeah.
wrong.
You know, it's just like you're a second class person and you don't equal to me.
Yes.
Something is wrong. So now I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop because I feel my coming on. Go ahead. Y'all doing a fine job. Yes, they
I
are.
was thinking while you was talking, you didn't cook nothing for me that night, did you? I must have ordered some out then.
Y'all tell him he did cooking and I took some.
I must have ordered something out that night. I'm so glad I know how to cook. But that is missionary work, and that's the deepest part of it.
Yes.
I mean, you got to really be a missionary to do those kind of things.
Man.
But the Lord said He will make you fishers of men. Now that's winning souls. What is the key to winning souls?
Amen.
Do anybody know that?
Take care of your primary need first.
Huh?
Take care of your primary need first.
Understand their situation?
The big question, asking them, do they have Jesus as their personal Savior in their heart? The big question, asking them how to save.
No, that's wrong.
Having compassion in your heart, the love of God.
Huh?
Having the love of God in your heart. Having compassion.
I'm going to give it to you so you know it now.
What's in you shows when shows.
The key to winning souls, what? You have to pay attention to what the Lord said to you. What did He say to those fishermen? Follow me, I'll make you fishers of men, didn't He?
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what He was saying to them? You catch the fish yourself and bring him to me, and I'll clean him up. Now, how do you catch the fish as a human being? You win their confidence.
Confidence.
Get to be buddies with whoever you're witnessing to. You don't have to say nothing to them about Jesus to start with, or you will drive him off.
Yeah.
But you get him to believe in you and get them to follow in you. And the next thing you know, you can get them to follow you to church.
It's true.
And follow you anyway. But the Lord said, you win them and bring them to me. So you win the person that way by getting them to get interest in you. And then you follow them, get them to follow you to church, or you can tell them about Jesus then. But don't try to do it first, because you will drive them off. I am a soul winner, and I know what I'm talking about. That is the way I win people. I get them interested in me. And this is what the Lord said. Get them interested in you.
Yeah.
And then you can lead them anywhere. That's like giving the little dog a candy stick. Yeah. But you see, the good part is coming later, but they don't know that. Are you giving that good part to start with? I ain't fooling with old Jesus people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, how do you do it? You go out and witness to them, and don't go somewhere that you can't go back to. You go back and go back till you get them interested in you. Does you know that's how the Jehovah's Witnesses win so many people? If they can get you looking and talking and interested in them, they will keep coming to you. And that's the way you have to do it too.
Sister Fanny wants to direct something to you, Bishop, because she said she had said that.
I had said something similar to that. I guess you didn't hear what it said.
I know a certain fellow came to the church, and I ain't gonna call his name, but his mother told me, you ain't gonna get him to work. I said, if he stay on the man, he'll go to work. She said, well, we'll see. I said, you'll see too. She came back to me after I got that joker working, and she said, you done did something him my husband couldn't do.
Wow.
And he ain't ashamed to tell it. He's sitting right up in here right now.
That's love. That's love.
Praise the Lord.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
If you want to win people for the Lord, you win them first. And that way you can lead them to the Lord. But if you go blasting people out, are you saved? You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know the Lord Jesus? Wrong again. You don't know what you're talking about. Have you ever been baptized? Wrong again. You don't know what you're talking about. They know what baptism is, but they don't know the meaning of it. Yeah. Do you read your Bible? They don't know what you're talking about. Do you have a Bible? Some of them don't know what you're talking about. You have to do to have a Bible. No. But you just go on around them, and every once in a while you say something that the Lord has done so good to you, and it made you so happy, and all like that. Don't try to press on that. They'll get to wondering by themselves. I wonder what he was talking about that the Lord did for him.
Yeah.
So good. I know a fellow I worked with. When I first started working with him, he was just like he was mad with the Lord. I'm telling you the truth. And every once in a while I would say something good about the Lord, and he'd look at me right crazy and going about his business. So we departed, and we got laid off. I quit working. And one day I was sitting out front of the church right there. He came walking down the street. I said, Smitty. He said, yeah, man, how you doing? I said, and so on. I said, where you been? I've been over to the return over there, got myself straightened out. Don't tell me what my Lord won't do for me. I said, listen to this here. I said, you know something about the Lord? You better believe I know something about the Lord. I never did forget what I heard you say, hear you say. I said, Lord have mercy.
Bishop is at the pull-down shelf.
All right, we're gonna get to the good part. Offering.
Yeah, he did.